Welcome to another new episode of Alex's Disorganized Thoughts. We begin episode 9 this week. As always, I am your host, Alex Naranjo, and thank you to everyone who's been listening, watching, providing feedback, texting, just kind of getting a hold of me, whatever the case may be. I truly appreciate it. Really wouldn't be continuing to do this without you guys. Coming up on episode 9 already, kind of almost 2 months of this new adventure for me, and I wouldn't keep doing it if it wasn't for the support of you guys. So once again, thank you. I can't thank you guys really enough. So yeah, let's get it going. For those of you watching on YouTube this week, you see a very bright, colorful jersey behind me. A little bit better description for those listening on the pod. It is a pink and I guess pink and purple kind of spray paint kind of motif. Um, it is the 2020-2021 PSG fourth kit. So it's like pink and purple. Um, Honestly, outside of like my Liverpool kits, this is probably my favorite like soccer jersey that I own, just style wise. I love the pink and purple colors on it, how they made it work. It's a Jordan brand jersey, so as a sneakerhead, having like the old Jumpman logo instead of the regular swoosh, I think it's always a nice touch. I actually have the Jordan ones that came with those that kind of match with it. That has like the same pattern along the lining, and I absolutely love the lining. I preferred probably would have gotten the hoodie if I could have gotten my hands on it, but the jersey was a little bit of an easy find. Yeah, I'm a lover of really loud jerseys. Like they always intrigue me. But you also have to see them in person, I think. Because I mean, I had one of our listeners, Peter, reached out to me on Instagram and actually sent me the leaks of the World Cup jerseys for the U.S. this year. And the white one's kind of an old school. It gives you a little retro vibes to it, but then the blue one seems to be really loud. And Peter was intrigued by it, and so am I. But like I told him, and you have to see him in person, like because honestly, now that I look at the PSG jersey a little bit more, it's kind of got like that same motif. It's just blue and black with the USA shield in the middle, with the soccer patch in the middle. Um, but personally, I just think like you have to see it in person. Like there was a Liverpool kit the first year there with Nike that was like a tealish. It was supposed to be like the waves and they were on the water and then all that stuff. And on pictures that thing looked gorgeous. I was like, man, that jersey looks great. But then when I saw it in person, I just wasn't that big of a fan of it. So like you really need to see sometimes the jersey in person. So I'm kind of holding judgment on that US jersey if that ends up being the one that they wear at the World Cup in December. But it's gonna be fun to see. Like I said, so that's this week's jersey, little PSG 2020-2021 fourth kit. Not many teams get a fourth kit, I like to add. So that shows how much money they have that they get them and they sell them. Because let me tell you, that was a hard jersey to get my hands on. Um, Moving on. So as you saw this week's episode, it's a little bit of a random grab bag. Not a lot of sports things, even though there is one interesting topic that I will kind of. We're recording on the Thursday again, just because Landon came in last night in the middle of recording saying he had a bad dream, and I'm a good father, so I quickly stopped recording and went back to bed with him and laid down and didn't record. So here I am on Thursday recording again. Um, so either way, last night I was watching TV before I caught wind of this other news, but I'm going to talk about this new TV show I found because I know I'm a little all over the place right now, but bear with me, folks. Again, 9 episodes, man. We're rolling here. So I discovered a new show on TV. I don't know if any of you have seen it. Apparently, season 8. I don't know if it's come out or about to come out. It's a show called Forged in Fire. It's on the History Channel. Basically, it's these guys who are blacksmiths, actual blacksmiths in today's day and age. Like it's a hobby, and these guys they're tasked with making a sword. Or like the first one was always a knife, and there's like they have to build a handle in the second round, but eventually they have to build like a historical weapon. Like the one that I was watching yesterday, the one that kind of caught my eye, they had to build a Chinese war sword. And that thing was like, it's massive. It's got like a big old, you can see here above my head. It's got the piercing in the top corner. It's 4 inches at the end. Like they give them certain parameters that they have to do, and then they test the swords. Like they cut them, like these swords, they cut them through a ram carcass and they just sliced them. It was kind of amazing to see these people making these swords with these edges, and really cool show. It gives me a little bit of vibes of Deadliest Warrior. I don't know if anybody remembers that show. So on Deadliest Warrior, what they basically did was they would get two warriors from different eras. So let's say, just for an example, samurais and Union soldiers from the Civil War. And they would test their weapons. They would have a historian there, and they would make the weapons that they used. And then they would test them and show you what kind of damage they did to people of that time when they attacked each other and battles and stuff like that. And all that is cool. But then what they really did was they would do, I think it was 1,000 simulations of 5-on-5 battle between, in this case, the samurais and the Union soldiers. And then they would show it, like they would reenact what happened in the fight. With obviously all the things that were demonstrated were shown then in the show. By the end of it, by season 3, season 4, it got a little gory because it was almost like they ran out of like things and people to do. So like I remember one, like they did like the Nazi SS, and that was like I get it, it's historical, it's the History Channel, I understand the point of it, but like it was rough, like it was almost too rough for me to watch. Like I remember like cringing at some points, like good lord, like I get it, but you didn't necessarily have to show it. And then in the reenactment they showed it again because one time wasn't enough. um so that was that. So like I found this show, and I really really amazing show. I will say though, like, so I guess he was the host for the first 7 seasons. He's not coming back for season 8 if that's happened or when. I don't know. It's a guy called Will Willis. First of all, I like the Will part there. That doesn't sound like it's his real name, but even if it is or it isn't, um so he struck me throughout this show as like a Matthew McConaughey, if you will. Like there was even at one point in the Chinese War Sword episode where he dropped an all right, let's test your blades. Like, sir, he even had the hair. Like he had the hair like McConaughey too. Like it was really, really budgety Matthew McConaughey. Like History Channel wanted McConaughey, but they couldn't get McConaughey, so they had to settle for like the cosplay Matthew McConaughey, and it was this dude Will Willis. Like it made me laugh a little bit in the middle. He also took it way too seriously, I feel like so whenever like someone was eliminated, he's like, I'm gonna give you the privilege, shaking my hand, shaking the judge's hands, shaking the competitor's hand, and then you have to leave the forge. Like, dude, that's just politeness. It's not a privilege to shake hands. Like, I felt like it was just a little over the top. Like he was trying too hard. But great show. It's on Hulu, so I'm definitely gonna be like binging the hell out of it just to watch some old ones and see what the hell was going on. Because like I said, it was really cool. I'm into it. I'm into stuff like that. I like Deadliest Warrior, like I said. So really, really cool. Speaking of TV, last week I mentioned how this is gonna be the first time in years that I'm not gonna have Sunday ticket. Well, I can call myself a liar because I do, in fact, as of 2 days ago, have Sunday ticket for this season. Um, so I don't talk about this stuff very often. I kind of keep it close to myself. My friends, family know, those really close to me. I'm currently in school to get my master's in sports business management from FIU. It's a program with Real Madrid. Good program. It's going. I graduated in May, so definitely looking forward to that part. But since I am a student at FIU, I was able to submit my schedule to the good folks at Sunday Ticket. And guess what? I get the student discount and I'm allowed to stream Sunday Ticket. So on September, I don't know, I think it's my birthday. I know for opening day, September 8th. So that's Sunday. I'll be watching football and I'll be able to follow all my fancy football guys. Really, really looking forward to that and being able to watch all the football till I'm blue in the face. So I get college all day Saturday. Sunday, I get my Sunday ticket, be able to follow fantasy, which speaking of fantasy, again, I'm recording on Thursday. There are some benefits to this. And something arrived about 10 minutes ago. I haven't taken the plastic off it because, again, it just got here. But here it is, folks. For all you competing in the league, the belt that you will all compete for is here. Again, it is a kid's belt, a little bit smaller, as you can tell. But there it is. It says Alex's Disorganized League, Fantasy Football Champion. So whoever wins this will be the recipient of the belt. Very excited that it's got good weight to it, man. Trophy Smack does not miss. They made the ring for the This and That League last year. I went through them for the belt, and it's got good weight, man. Like really, really good quality stuff. So definitely enjoy it. And since we're looks like we're on a little bit of a TV binge right now, this actually feeds in to the one real sport topic that we're going to talk about today. And this is a little piece of news that came out yesterday, and I kind of caught wind. I just didn't read much of it before I tried recording, so I was able to do a little bit more research today. So, our good buddies Tiger Wood and Rory McIlroy have joined a partnership, and they are leading the fight as they have been from the PGA Tour side against Liv. They've been really adamant advocates for the PGA, and now they've joined up on a new venture with the PGA in conjunction with the PGA that I think is huge. I'm genuinely intrigued by it. Definitely intrigued by anything else, anything more by this than anything Liv kind of offered um, up to now. So they're going to essentially do a Monday night golf. I believe it's 14 or 16 times. It's an exhibition. It's one day only. Um, and it's a virtual type event. They've set up like a whole virtual arena where they have a short game area, and then a place where you can drive and hit shots and things like that. And you're essentially going to be able to play 18 virtual holes in 2 hours. So it's designed for Monday night prime time, 2 hour block, and it's going to be teams. So taking a little bit from Liv, like let's be honest here, but then again, there's the Ryder Cup, and then there's been teams other places. Taking away a bit from Liv though as well, and they're making it. It's almost like a little bit of a Top Golf. It feels like, but with a short game aspect attached with pitching and putting and things like that. So they'll be playing in teams, and I think this is genius. I really think I'm very intrigued, especially you're gonna have guys like Tiger and Rory there, plus whoever else they get to compete in the teams and make. I'm sure it's gonna be like a league format, and the biggest thing I feel like this does more than anything is this extends Tiger Woods' career. Like I think this you're going to see Tiger on every Monday. He doesn't have to walk, which we saw at the majors this year is like a pun major issue for him. Like just being able to go up and down the courses. Like he was just after the Masters, like he was just spent because it was just how much walking he did. His body just can't take it. But if it's something like this virtual aspect where there isn't as much walking, there isn't as much pressure, he can definitely play all these exhibitions and still make bank because there's going to be people are going to be involved and people are going to be interested. It's going to be on TV. They have Tiger, they have Rory, they're going to have others that want to do this. I think this is a great idea. I think this is a very smart move from the PGA in giving more control to the players because at the end, supposedly that's one of the big things the Live people wanted, and not money. Let's yeah okay. So it's very, very interesting. I'm definitely excited to see what Monday Night Golf, I believe that's the tentative name they have for it, comes with. And we'll kind of see from there. Again, it's really, really cool. I think it's amazing. And I'm excited to see it. I'm excited, like I said, excited for this more than anything Live related that I've kind of seen lately. Speaking of things that excite me. So as a homeowner, you get like all these letters, and especially I live in HOAs, and you get HOA meetings and crap like that. And I didn't join it here in this neighborhood here in Waimama. Like I don't think I got an invitation to join the next door app. I wasn't going to anyways because like I joined it in Claremont because I didn't know what I was doing. Because like, okay, I want to be involved and kind of be like, I figured we were going to be there a lot longer than a year and moving out here. So I joined the next door app in Claremont, and and I quickly realized that all it is, all it is a place for you to go about and bitch about your neighborhood, and people in your direct area will see it. So you hope that it has some sort of, you know, possibility to do something, right? But so every now and again you get some real ridiculous ones, like people complaining about, oh, your garbage is left out, and then you get the comment section where people are just like, oh no, they're backed up, this and this. Oh, but that doesn't matter. It's like, but you can't change the company. They call it. It's like it becomes like a whole big thing, and it's honestly hilarious to watch. I just sit there and like, like the gifs and the memes out there, just chewing popcorn, just watching people argue over just nonsensical stupidity things because they want to argue. Like one person the other day argued about school buses. Legitimately said like, "Oh, why are the school buses parked in front of my house?" And like one of the bus drivers literally appeared on the. It's like, well, I'm sorry, we don't want the kids to get crushed in traffic, and we inconvenience you for 5 minutes. Maybe you should leave earlier or leave later. Like, I love it. I love it. I mean, they're not wrong because it's a school bus. Like, come on. But like every now and again, you get some real doozies on there. But nothing tops what I saw. I want to say it was Monday, or it could have been over the weekend. I don't know. Someone legitimately complained, and I'm paraphrasing here. Um, doesn't Disney World have any consideration firing off fireworks at 11 o'clock at night on a weekday? I do. Like for those of you who don't know where Claremont is roughly about 20 to 25 minutes away from Walt Disney World, from like being in on property already. Probably even less. So you can hear the fireworks all the time, all the time. However, if you move to just Orlando in general, especially even with Universal and SeaWorld, or just the Kissimmee Disney World area, like you have to understand these are some of the things that come with. So people immediately start ripping this guy. Like one guy, and he's absolutely right in this saying, it goes, dude, you sound like the guy who moves next to the airport and then complains that there's too much airplane noise. It's like, what do you expect? And then the guy tried to defend himself. He's like, no, I moved here. I shouldn't be hearing this late at night. I understand they have fireworks. It's like, yeah, but like other people are there at the park. It's not about you, man. And then some people just start like antagonizing him and just like as I like to say, as they say in Spanish, pinchando la uva, like just kind of really fucking with them and fucking with the guy. Like, man, if you're mad right now, wait until Not So Scary starts and there's fireworks 2 times a night, and Merry Christmas. So they were just like screwing with the guy. Like, yeah, it's only gonna get worse as the year goes on, my dude. Like, it's not gonna stop. And then like he's getting angry. He's like, oh, they don't care about kids, blah blah blah. Which of course, always funny to hear people say Disney doesn't care about kids. And like other people are like, bro, just go knock on their door like your neighbor and say, Mr. Mouse, can you please not have any fireworks? And then the other part that concerned me about this whole thing, which again, I'm laughing hysterically at this because bro, you moved next to Disney World. Fireworks are part of the deal here. Was like certain people were like, hey, there's ordinances. I'm pretty sure that Disney has ways around these ordinances, guys. Like it's Disney. Like it's not Joe Schmo from Kokomo. You know what I'm saying? Like it is what it is. So watching people complain about that is what made me laugh really to no end. Like just brought a smile to my face because it's so dumb. It like how are you gonna complain about fireworks at Disney? Like again, it's like complaining about airplane noise living next to the airport. Like you can't. Like you know what you got. Deal with it. Um and I got a question for you folks as we move on from that fantastic person who thought Disney fireworks are inconsiderate. Um have you guys ever like is there any song or like I know music always like pops into people's heads and that pops into people's heads all the time. But is there ever like an album sometimes that just pops in the head and you just remember how like just how awesome the album was? Like and for those of you who know me, you know that my music taste is quite odd, to lack of a better term. It's all over the place. And if you're with me in a car, Morgan absolutely hates when I have music in the car because it makes no rhyme or reason. Because it'll be like NWA, and then it'll be In Sync, and then it'll be I don't know, Guns N' Roses, and then it'll be Kiss, and then it'll be Ed Sheeran. Like it's just all over the place. You know what I'm saying? John Baptiste will show up. It's all over the place. However, yesterday as I was going to pick up Noah, for some reason this band popped into my head, and I hadn't thought of them in God knows how long. And the band's name is the Postal Service. I don't know if anybody remembers that. It was 3 people: Ben Gibbard from Def Cat for Cutie, Jenny Lewis from Rilo Kiley, and James Tomborello, also known as Dental DJ. Um, and they released one album. One album. They joined up. It was like a comment in the night. They released one album, and it was honestly, it's a spectacular album. I've been jamming to it since yesterday, today, this morning as I was getting ready to record. Like they released one album called "Give Up" in 2003. That's it, just one album, and it is a fantastic album. Like I said, I still listen to the album to this day. I listened. They got just songs like it's one of those albums, one of those songs that you just hear it and you immediately know all the words and you just start kind of jamming and going into it, and that's what it is for me. So like Sleeping In, Clark Gable, Nothing Better, like just those songs. Like I got friends of mine hooked on this album. I used to play this album at nauseum. Obviously, their biggest hit was Such Great Heights. And it, like I said, I don't know why the album still slaps. Like it's I don't know why it popped into my head, but I was jamming out to it. It's still a great album. I definitely recommend if you have Apple Music, any streaming service. After you listen to this episode, go listen to that album. They had a 10th anniversary re-release of the album with a bunch of remixes that was really cool as well. That came out, and they also had I didn't know because again they were such a like poof. If you missed it, like they were gone because they did that one album. They performed live. This was according to Apple Music. It was released in 2020. So I don't know if they recorded like in 2019. They did a show together, or in 2020 they did something like before COVID or as COVID was ending. They decided to do something I guess for their fans because again, one album in 2003 and it's still like at least for me it still resonates. Um, and I just loved it. I heard the live stuff, and that was amazing hearing it like live and with a crowd. And obviously, when you hear a live album, there's still some mastering that goes into it to make sure you get a good audio experience. But it was so refreshing to hear again. Like it brought me back. It put me in a really good mood. I was in a good mood as it was, but it just like that next level, right over the top, really put me in a really good mood. And one last thing I want to talk about, and I didn't know this was a thing. If someone can tell me when this happened and when it became a holiday, like, thank you, I'd appreciate it. There's apparently a holiday for everything these days. Like, there's National Cheeseburger Day, National Hot Dog Day, National Boyfriend Day, Girlfriend Day, Husband Day, Wife Day. You name it, they probably have a day. Like, I'm sure there's a National Shiba Inu Day for Charlotte, my dog. Technically Morgan's dog, but I take her out more, so she's my dog. But apparently on Monday, thanks to the Only in Day Instagram page, it was National Cuban Sandwich Day. Again, I don't know who makes these things up. I didn't know this was an actual thing. However, whoever runs that page, besides for bringing the much needed awareness to National Cuban Sandwich Day, because I'm a fan of that one, they woke up and chose violence by asking their base, their fan base, their Instagram followers, and just anyone in general, really, because I have a very strong opinion on this. What's better, the Miami Cuban sandwich or the Tampa Cuban sandwich? Now, I'll be very honest with you. Until I moved to Tampa, I didn't know that was a fucking thing. The Tampa Cuban. I thought a Cuban was a Cuban was a Cuban. Like, there's only one Cuban as far as I'm concerned. You know what I'm saying? Mayo, pickle, ugh, got the word confused there. Mayo, pickles, pork, ham, Swiss cheese. That's it. Cuban bread. That's it. Nothing else. That's what's in a Cuban. Apparently, here in Tampa, these weirdos decide to put salami and mayonnaise in their Cuban sandwich. Like, now, don't get me wrong. I am not anti-salami or anti-mayo. I like salami. I like mayo. Just keep those two bastards away from my Cuban sandwich. They have no what Cuban was having salami or mayo? Like, it's not a thing. And whoever made it a thing needs to get un cocotazo just slapped outside the head, because that is no. You don't put mayo, you don't put salami on the Cuban sandwich. That's why I'm very happy to say I'm giving them a free pub, Little Habana Cuban Cafe, right on here in Riverview. They're my people. They're my people because they have two Cuban sandwiches on their menu. They have the Cuban and they have the Cuban wannabe. And take a guess as to which one is the wannabe. That's right, that bullshit from Tampa. Like, because again, salami and mayo don't belong on a Cuban sandwich. They don't. They simply don't. Mayo doesn't belong on anything really Cuban when you really think about it. Neither does salami. Like, who really puts any of that stuff in Cuban food? Like, I don't know what Italians came in and infiltrated Cuba and put salami on a Cuban sandwich. But like, if, 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 and the only way I would change this opinion is if one day, by a miracle of God, I managed to make it to Cuba for whatever reason, visit old family, sightsee, whatever the reason is that I managed to make my way to Cuba. I personally, if those of you who know me know, it's probably never going to happen. But in the case that I do, I will go hunting for a Cuban sandwich, and I will go ask my my friend in Cuba and say, "Hey, sir," and I'll say it in Spanish though, but this is in English for you, for my listeners. Do you put salami and mayo on your sandwich? And when he slaps me in the head for asking such a stupid question, I'm gonna come back and tell you people that and start a revolution here in Tampa to get that shit out of here. Get that shit gone. No one wants mayo and salami on a freaking Cuban. And I'm gonna put this up in the poll. That's gonna be this week's poll. A lot of people didn't really think the Knicks and Lions there was a correlation there. I disagree highly with you folks. The the Knicks and Lions are the same. Period. End of story. But I'm gonna put this up there. Does mayo and salami belong on the Cuban sandwich? That's gonna be the poll question for this week's episode of the pod. And with that being said, we've reached a humble conclusion to this week's pod with a nice question for you all to think about. So as always, I want to thank all of you for listening to the pod, watching the pod, however it is you're consuming. As always, remember to subscribe, download, rate, and review. Please go on and tell your friends. We need more people here. The more, the merrier. If you want to follow me on YouTube or Instagram, don't forget you can look me up at Alex's Disorganized Thoughts. If you want to follow me on Twitter or Facebook, always look me up at Alex Dis Thoughts. Or if you want to hit me up with a good old fashioned email in the Gmail, hit me at alexdisorganizedthoughts@gmail.com. Once again, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. However it is you consume your pod, I truly, truly appreciate it. Thank you and have a good day.